make sure we don't, you know, turn into a Mustang meme.
Yeah.
I'm with Mr.
Harrison.
Today we're in your beautiful R32 GTR, and I think what's cool about this one, people might be like, another black GTR, David, but what are the main differences? And also, you were stationed in Japan for 4 years,
yep.
And contradicting a lot of people who said you couldn't bring it back, you brought it back from Japan and brought it back to the States. So what was that all like?
I guess because I was there 2010 to 2014. There was a lot of that period before anyone was bringing GTRs over. No one knew 100% if it was gonna work out.
It was like a big like taboo almost. It was like a no-no, like, oh, don't try that because customs won't let you bring it in.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you'd hear the stories of guys shipping them over, and then now they have to ship them back on their own dime.
Yeah, because it's like, sorry.
Yep, and they're stuck in a port, and now they're in a weird, yeah.
Not a fun time.
Not a fun time.
Your motor, compared to pretty much every other GTR, what's different about it?
It's CP pistons,
yeah.
Manly arms, you can't go wrong with those.
Manly anything's awesome.
Yeah, cams on it, and then HKS cam timers, you know, just a little normal trick stuff, and then the GTSS turbos, so twin.
Well, so those in particular, I like right off the bat, before we started filming, I was like, these have a little bit of lag to them, and then I barely got in it and it spun all 4 wheels. I mean, it's raining too, but like it spun way quicker than I imagined. I thought we were gonna have a little bit of grip at least for a second, but when your power kicks on, dude, it's instantaneous. It's wild.
It'll light them up pretty quick, unfortunately, when you're trying to just go for it.
Well, see, typically, I'm easing into it.
Yeah.
But typically with GTRs, it has a super linear power band compared to, say, a 2J car. A 2J car is like all at once, but a stock factory twin turbo car and a GTR is so buttery smooth. You know exactly what's gonna happen the whole time, because you had a 33.
Yep.
And then, did you have another 32? Is that what happened?
Yeah, so when I first got to Japan, I bought a GTS-T R33 that I had for a couple months. I sold to one of my friends, and then I bought a 92 white GTR R32.
Yeah, with red wheels, right?
Well, I ended up buying the red wheels later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, to kind of stand out. They're very, very loud. My mom hated them.
How could you do such a thing to a car?
Yep, and then they went orange when I got the black car.
Golly, you're not kidding. This is so different. Like, okay, so the turbo size is literally only that much bigger, and the power comes on that much more violent. That's what's crazy, because I feel like last time, I drove my friend Josh's last time, and his was R34 twins on it.
Yeah.
And it did feel faster, but this is like, we can't get grip anywhere, dude.
They're a little bit bigger than the 34s. These will push out a little more power. They're somewhat comparable through the power curves, but then sometimes the GTSS just nudges them out a little bit.
Even the N54 BMW engines and all that, like, they're twin scroll or whatever, but this comes on so much more violent that I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Well, every time it does the perfect synchronization, like it just starts squatting like this.
Yep.
Golly. I love like R32s with like a lot of meat on the tire. I think it looks so aggressive, but we were talking about this at the shop too, where the 32 in particular, you can't convince a lot of people that it's an old car now. I mean, it looks, the body lines look modern, and they still fit in with everybody else. But that might be why a lot of people don't really blink an eye at them until they see the right-hand drive.
Oh, absolutely.
Or anything like that. JDM mailman, you know. You were stationed in Japan, used to driving on the left for almost 4 years. Yeah. You're telling me that it's like such a jarring experience coming back to the United States, probably.
Yeah, for the first couple of months, you take that right-hand turn, a left-hand turn, that's really what messed you up. It wasn't really centering yourself in the lane or anything.
Right.
It was just, because the right hand in America, you got to go to the close lane, whereas I was used to going to the far lane.
Right.
And then vice versa.
I always get the blinker switched up. The blinker and the wipers.
I did it yesterday driving even those cars.
It was like instinctually this way or this way.
I flipped it with my left, and I was like, oh, Wow.
But the RB26 is known for the oil starvation stuff, at least the first gen.
Yes.
And this is a first gen RB, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you elongated the crank, I think you said?
Yeah, so you put a long crank nose on the older ones. They have it on the newer ones. They fixed it, and the actual bezel that goes into the oil pump was like half of it. And what it would do if you jarred it, it would just break it. It would just destroy the oil pump. The head, it sends too much oil up, and that's where it ends up. All the oil's up in the head because it pumps
so it won't
too
come
much.
back down to the bottom.
Right, and that's normally when they get starvation. So what I did was I put a little restrictor in the block. It's about a $3 part.
Okay.
But you have to have the head off and somebody to mill it in. It's a $3 little restrictor, but it will restrict the amount of oil going up to the head so that you're not losing it all.
I think it's funny you said you pulled the motor in a tiny little garage, right?
Yeah. In my rental.
In your rental.
I was renting. Yeah.
A little bit. There we go. People don't realize in my videos that to do a pull, it takes sometimes like an hour or two just to find the perfect moment, dry area, or anything. With this, we just did, what, 4 tries? We finally got one of me pedaling it. Clutch is you said it's a twin disc, right?
Twin disc OS Genkin.
Oh, dude, that's what I have my 240.
Or Geiken or Genkin, whatever you want to say it.
Geiken, whatever you want to call it.
Tome, you know,
Weak Fest, Weck Fest.
Yeah. Before everybody yells at me about it.
Oh, I know.
You said it wrong. So a lot of 89s were really still not even here.
Yeah.
And people were just coming up to me going like, that's not real. It's a 240.
With a kit on it.
Did you
really?
swap the RB26 in it? Because they don't even come with those. Yeah, they do. All the mess.
Okay, someone in the comments section, for God's sake, settle this argument. Okay, what Skylines had the 25 and the 26? There's got to be somebody out there, because I feel like there's so many different variants, because you were talking to Charles from Evolve Tuning, and he was like, no, this one, and then you're like, no, this one. So everyone seems to have a different opinion about it.
The minute you think you know something,
well, because
you might not.
The RB series in particular were like 20, 25, 26, DET, they're all in different types of cars. Like so many different Nissans had an RB platform. Now, unlike the 1J and 2J, which is really easy. You're like, oh yeah, 1J was in the Chaser, it was in this. The 1J was in this car, the Soarer, and then the 2J was in this, done.
Yep. Skylines are almost kind of like the Mustang, where you can have the V8, 5.0, or you could have the V6, or you could have all these different variants that kind of trim levels of the same car.
It's funny you said that, because when I was thinking of that, it's like there's an NA model, then there's a turbo model, then there's a 26 model. It's like, okay, same car with all the different variants, like you said. Like now there's EcoBoost, now there's V8. So now it makes sense. I feel like the Skyline's one of those cars where it doesn't matter who it is, it makes like so many people's day. Like when you go to a gas station or anything like that, they're like, where'd you get that?
Previous video, the guy said, we just want to shake your hand. Like, it's weird. It's a thing. They're like, hey, I want to shake your hand because you have that car.
Because you were saying in Japan, people were telling you that it was a waste of money, like waste to modify it because you won't be able to bring it back.
Yeah, they were saying pretty much you're not going to be able to bring the car back. I can't believe you bought that car. You guys and your cars are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I really want it. I like it. It's just a super fun car to drive.
Because you got your first Skyline, you said, for like $4,000.
Yeah, $4,000 for the R33, and then for the white one, the GTR, I paid $5,000. But that was 2011.
Come across the pond.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no.
Yeah. And then I paid 10 for this one.
That's crazy how like after import fees and everything else, some people are selling these for 20 grand, 30 grand. And you go over the pond to Japan or Australia, you're like, why are you paying that much?
Well, actually, the price in Japan's gone up.
Has it?
Yeah, my buddy...
Do you think it's because people are importing them or exporting them? I remember I met somebody from Ireland one time, they're like, yeah, we use Skylines as missile cars. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, what? That GTS4 I told you about.
Oh. Make sure we don't, turn into a Mustang meme.
Yeah.
And it's a win it, dude. We're trying to pedal all the way down.
Oh yeah, spinning ain't winning.
Oh. Make sure we don't, turn into a Mustang meme. Yeah. There we go. You can win what in the Skyline because everyone respects the Skyline, right? I have every, for the most part.
I feel like when the minute you hit something in the Skyline, you become that guy.
Okay, yeah.
And there's photos of your car all over the internet.
Okay, other than that though, I'm talking about just driving it to a car meet, right?
Oh,
the
yeah,
Skyline overall, people either don't blink their eye at it or they
Yep.
go, whoa, that's awesome.
Yep.
See, I have every bro car. I have a 240,
Yep.
a Mustang, and an Integra. It's so sad that like people garage cars that like this, if they garage it, I'm like, you're not gonna get anything out of it. You know, I feel as though if you were to garage a Skyline, you're missing out on the entire experience of why they were so popular. You know, they won all those races for so many years. We were talking about, as soon as I sat down in this, it just feels right. As
Yeah.
soon as you sit in a Skyline for some reason,
You kind of feel at home.
yeah, you feel at home because of where you're sitting. We can't even, we can't maintain a pull because right when we hit 6,000, it's like all four. When you were in Japan, was the debate between like Super and Skyline as big as it is here, or is just everybody doesn't really care?
Absolutely not. They don't care.
I figured.
They don't care. The Japanese car culture in general is so different than the States because you can pull up in a Cape car.
Yeah. Like
That
a
is
Honda Beat or
lifted.
something. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like this little mini Jeep, and it's got a little turbo on it, and crazy lights, and everyone's gonna flock over and go say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
and you know, hang out. I can feel it coming.
I know. This thing's rad, dude. After all this time of having this Skyline, and it's still been worth it even after the modifications and everything else.
The downtime, yeah, it's still every time I get in it, turn the key, and then it pulls.
Of course.
And then it pulls
As soon as we need to stop.
with some grip.
Thank you so much for letting me drive, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. I had a lot of fun because this thing just rips everywhere it goes. Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Evolve Tuning and Evolve Injection for working on this car. They did everything right. Hey, you, want clean wheels? Hey, use this. Spray on. Let it sit for 45 seconds and turn purple. Spray again with water. Clean wheels. Make sure to check out www.pattersoncarcare.com. Made by car dudes, for car dudes.